Good morning, Monrovia. Good morning, Habel. Good morning, Robertsfield. Good morning, Robertsport. Good morning, Turuta. Good morning, Salala. Good morning, Macaque City. Good morning, Totman Burger. Good morning, Clay. Good morning, Waterside. Good morning, Riverside. Good morning, Bapulu. Good morning, Buchanan. Good morning, La. Good morning, Caldwell. Good morning, Brewerville. Virginia, Camp David. My River Edge. This is 50-50 on a Wednesday morning on Sky 107.1 FM with this topic. What triggered the LMP move on the supporters of ANC and Liberty Party partisans yesterday? Is it a clampdown on free speech or free assembly? What lessons to be learned from the brute force to the post-CAM 2023, where the Cuban government is a participant? What is the position of the Umbrella CPP regarding what's happened to the ANC, which is a constituent member of the CPP? My special studio guest is Mulbah. Yorbor. He is Director of Communication of the ANC and the Secretary General of the Liberty Party that issued a joint press release. Will be joining us later. My name is T-Max. By 11 o'clock, our lines will be open as usual. Call us on those numbers on 077-777-107. You'll be live on 50-50 on Sky 107. Or better still, call us on 077-221-223. Those numbers are incidentally pinned on our Facebook page, Sky Communications Liberia. Of course, my name is T-Max. I'm the grandson of my grandfather. And 50-50, you just can't beat the experience. We'll be back right after the theme song.
Hey, y'all. What's up, back homie LIB, man?
T-Brash, that you? Hey, what are you when you man? I'm surprised because most of you keep quiet when you go to America.
Come on, man. I told you I'll make a difference, girl. By the way, I need to send you some cash, but heard that the banks are closed today in LIB.
You sleeping? That bro going to another level. You can see the script on my phone.
Receive money from your family and friends in the U.S. directly into your Orange Money wallet. Yes, you heard me right. Tell your loved ones to download the BNB or Small World money transfer apps or visit their websites to begin transferring. Visit www.orange.com.lr for more information. Free for sender until 30th November.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
Wash everything accommodation.
Me.
Bobo, you take her money to pay for the things I got for my honey. She over there. Amos, send money to my phone fast. Send for rent about you.
Great news for all football lovers. Use Orange Money to cash in or cash out and stand a chance to win cash, devices, or a ticket to the AFCON final. Yes, you heard me right. All this plus many other prizes. Dial *154# to begin transacting. First prize, all expense paid trip to watch the AFCON finals, plus promotional materials. Second prize, luxury 4G smartphone, plus promotional materials. Third prize, $100 cash, plus promotional materials.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires, We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage has also brought in a state-of-the-art 2022 upgraded diagnostic machine that can easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician from Ghana who is up to the task of programming and solving all of your car electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck free of charge if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage Head Office on 0777 553317 or 0886 553317 or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian owned, is here to put a smile on your face.
Thank you very much. Back on 50/50 on Sky 107. Before we get to the topic, I got two newspapers, the Inquirer newspaper as well as the front page. Let me give you the banner headlines of the back and the front pages of the two newspapers I have, and the choice for my editorial today. Let's begin with the Inquirer. Inquirer said Liberia mourns Alhaji GV Kromah as thousands to bid him farewell today. You know, the last time I saw GV, as he was popularly known, was when Abon Sawyer was interim president. We went to watch a football game. I was sitting behind Abon Sawyer. And don't ask me why I was sitting behind his personal mentor of all of the third layers of Moja. And so I was sitting behind him. And GV entered the stadium. And one would have thought that he would come to pay his respect to Abon Sawyer. He was dressed in the Desert Storm American military uniform, but he was walking the Fidel Castro. And somebody said, was it Tiawan or was it some of us said, look at how he's walking. And everyone said he's walking the Fidel Castro. Everybody laughed at that. That was the last time I saw Comrade Posey, Haji, the late Alhaji GV Kromah. He's sitting here in this I would assume he's mostly material. This seemed like a gown, youthful looking, exuberant person he was. Very, very articulative, very, very eloquent. Posey, death has a way of silencing everyone born of a woman. So that's the balance story of the Inquirer newspaper. Liberia mourns Alhaji GV Kromah as thousands to bid him farewell today. So Muslim, but the Islamic rights will be buried today. Public Works budget hitches at Senate, but over jobs insecurity or wife abandonment, hospital former chief of security shoot himself. Mita Steel supported Ganta Yekepa road construction on course. The back page of the Inquirer newspaper said Leges and partners kick off COVID economic impact survey. Another legally battled arising as court summons Cummins Jlateh for damages. Wow. The case is elasticizing. Let's move on to the front page of the front page. Newspaper says Public Works budget on hold. Said raises concern over the legitimacy of acting minister gives President Weah ultimatum to appoint a minister proper. This sort of ultimatum sometimes never hold. It's a weak and toothless bulldog ultimatum. If Weah does not appoint, what will you do? You can't. The Senate cannot move the president. Maybe it will be the battle system. Okay, saying you want to appoint the president when you send something here, we're not honor it. That's the ultimatum to give the president money. Seeking PYJ's political death, Representative Larry Younger wants United States government institute additional measures to prevent Kingsman Senator Prince Wyatt Johnson from contesting 2023 general and presidential elections. Wow. He had on a cap of what kind of What kind of cap is there? I don't know. Raji Kroman is dead. The former Lord rebel leader died at his Sophie's residence in Monrovia at the age of 69. Full crisis looming. The sun rain is not easy this year. It's too much. Even if you watered your crop, it can still make it. It can't still make it. Mususumo, or farmer in Bond County. Several alternative National Congress partisans suffered state security brutal force. Peaceful protest turns chaotic, and instead they started shooting tear gas at us and chasing people who came here to ensure our political leader get a fair trial. All my eyes are full of tears. A common supporter uh, and victim of the police lethal force. The back page of the front page newspaper says Bond County wins 2021, 2022. Well, which one is the NSSM athletes? I just don't know this. I'm not familiar with that. You know that, Nyonko, what is this?
National County Sports Meets.
National County Sport Meets.
Athletics.
Athletics, okay. Thank God they didn't get basketball. Thank God they didn't get volleyball. Grand Crew get that. We just loaned the cup to Nimba because our this was song that says that Nimba, we don't care what happened, what they say, or you will still be champion. So it means that song was composed before the league even began. My choice for the editorial said we must act upon TRC now or else. That is the choice for our editorial of today's discussion. So let's go back to the topic. What triggered the Liberian National Police move on supporters of ANC and Liberty Party partisan yesterday? It says the clampdown on free speech or the free assembly. What lessons to be learned from the police brute force as Liberians prepare themselves to go to the polls come 2023 general and presidential election, in which the incumbent party, the government, is taking part. What is the position of the Umbrella ANC, which is a Mulbah, Yorbor, director of communication of the ANC, will be joined later on by the Secretary General. I made a contact to my friend and brother Mo Ali. He's the head of Secretariat for the CPP, but he did not answer this phone. That was strange to me because he always answers my phone. Good morning, Yorbor.
Good morning, T-Max, and good morning, Senator. It's a pleasant honor to be here again, the only grandson of your grandfather.
Yes, I am.
I'm always blessed to sit under your melodious voice, your very powerful radio voice.
So, they said they beat you yesterday, you were crying like a baby.
Yeah, they were chasing me out in the streets, and for the first time...
What led to that? We thought it was so peaceful, as enshrined our Liberian Constitution.
It was.
What led to that?
It was peaceful, but this government has always... done this. It's not the first time they've used tear gas to disperse protesters.
The government did that?
They've done that before, yeah. They did that yesterday. It's unfortunate we have people at the hospital right now. Madam Victoria Kokwe, who's Deputy Vice Chair for Political Affairs.
Yeah, I know.
If you call Victoria right now, she probably will answer you from the hospital, where some of our supporters still undergoing treatment. I'm sure a little child yesterday nearly suffocated to death. She was revived at the rotunda of the Capitol building. So it was a chaotic scene yesterday.
What led to that?
So the CYCPP, which is a group of young people, they call themselves the Concerned Youth for the CPP.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote the Ministry of Justice requesting the ministry to be informed or asking the ministry to provide protection for them as they go through the trial at the magisterial court. That went in about 3 days ago before yesterday. There wasn't a permission. We were requesting for permission because it is legal for Liberians to gather peaceably.
As contained in the Constitution.
Absolutely, to gather peaceably and petition the government. So that was one such gathering yesterday. We gathered to show solidarity for the peaceful Liberian who we believe is on trial on frivolous grounds, on trumped-up charges. It started peaceably, as expected, as organizers had envisioned. So we came home in 8, 9, 10, 11. Everything was peaceful.
But the numbers were intimidating.
Yeah, it was.
The numbers you had in
the numbers were adding up minute after minute. As at the time the disruption occurred, I guarantee you we had am I live?
There you go. Go ahead.
Good. we had easily around 6,000 to 7,000 persons, and more were expected. Yes, and even with the number, our supporters were urged to remain peaceful, and they were peaceful. They were peaceful. What prompted the discharge of tear gas canisters? I'm not sure what happened. Yeah. It happened in my presence. I was smoked. Our vice for administration, Reverend Kennedy, was tear gassed. Our chief of security, Justin Sigbo, was tear gassed. So is that something?
So what did the police say? What led to that?
What did they said? They said we were being dishonored. Yeah, that was unfortunate coming from Moses Carter, the usual suspect, who peddles on lies in defense of the police. But he's one young man who should really be careful because he has a lot ahead of him. He shouldn't put his credibility and career on the line for a government that is clearly senseless and insensitive to the people of this country. You can't have your citizens gathering peaceably, not obstructing traffic, and then the only way you think you can address them is to tear gas them in numbers. People trampled upon each other yesterday. T-Max, we have a pickup full with slippers, footwear at the Liberty Party headquarters. It was a chaotic scene. They have video evidence to that effect.
But luckily, nobody died.
I can't independently verify that. But the injuries sustained by some people, we're still looking forward to their treatment. Until they are discharged from hospitals, I can say with absolute certainty that that is not a likely outcome. However, don't pray for that outcome.
Did that disrupt the function, the working of the court?
It did not. As a matter of fact, there was no trial did yesterday from Mr. Combs, but I'm sure.
But why were they dead in the street if there was no trial? Why were they in the street?
To tell you that the solidarity was not meant to disrupt the trial of Mr. Combs.
Which never took place anyway.
Exactly, did not take place. So that was just a day set aside.
Okay.
But as a matter of fact, we chose that date without even knowing the next court assignment. We didn't even know that.
You thought it was yesterday?
Yes, the assignment is today.
Mm-hmm.
When we brought the Ministry of Justice, we did not even have notice of the assignment. So it was just a random that we picked up, right? The organizers picked up to have this protest, this rally. Sorry, well, it wasn't a protest anyway. We weren't protesting anything. We just in solidarity with one of ours, whom we believe is being targeted, unfortunately, by the government and a fellow opposition political party. And that is the irony of it. One would think that at this point, there will be a total, collaboration amongst opposition political parties to bring to end this nightmare we're going through as a country. But one of us thought that working with establishment does their bidding. And it is unfortunate. And I hope that we can delve into that during this conversation. All right. So they may have succeeded in dispersing the crowd, peaceful gathering. But one thing they did not succeed to do is to not bring the international community's attention to what happened yesterday. We have informed our international partners. We've put together a dossier, video evidence, photographic evidence, press statements to that effect. We've put all together and we're sending them to the appropriate embassies, appropriate partners around our capital, so they know exactly what happened yesterday. The events of yesterday will be chronologically told, and they will see that this government, like it's done in the past, will always clamp down on critical voices.
Why would you want to pin this in government? Maybe the likes of Carter be overzealous. Sometimes
he always is.
Sometimes government doesn't. Sometimes nobody gives somebody instruction. Somebody wants to please the president at all times. Well, it might not be the willing of the government.
T-Max, he's in a position of trust. He speaks for the Liberian National Police. If he misrepresents the police should call him out, terminate his services if they may, or issue an erratum and say he did not speak for us, or at least he misrepresented us, and then he'd be punished for that. But he's done this from time to time. Saying that the government tacitly accepts his representation of the government. So everything he says, we're going to treat it as the official position of the Liberian National Police vis-a-vis the government. So yesterday's disruption was clearly orchestrated by the government so as to, clamp down on the right of people to assemble.
What does the government benefit from this? If you deny citizens of the constitutional rights, what it's nothing to do with this case. Why would government tear gas? Why would the police want to tear gas supporters who peacefully in the street giving solidarity to their leader? Why would government benefit?
T-Max, every government wants a good image.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday's gathering was not a pro-government gathering. It clearly was meant to showcase, to amplify the misjustice that's been perpetrated by this government, injustice, if you may, or the miscarriage of justice, whichever choice of words fits our particular scenario, and the targeting of opposition political individuals, critical voices by this government. Yesterday's gallery was meant to amplify that to the rest of the world, so people know that you have a government that is insensitive to the people, that is not doing by the people, and then you have a group of people who are now prepared, willing to sacrifice to bring to bear, public bear, what's happening in this country. So our partners get to know the government is not interested in that because it lowers their credential, the human rights credential. But then, inadvertently, they also did that by firing tear gas canisters at peaceful citizens. So that further lowered their credential, the human rights credential. So whichever way, yesterday was a win for the opposition, it was a win for us because we clearly demonstrated that we can be peaceful and that our government can be intolerant of our views.
So let's look at your party and that of your party, the ANC, is a constituent political party, a constituent member of the collaborating political parties. One would have thought, what is the level of solidarity? Because what affects one in this quantorium arrangement
should affect the rest, the generality of
the body. Yes. So what is the level of solidarity from the CPP, or should I say specifically from the Unity Party, which now heads the rotational chairmanship, and that
the other party has stood with the ANC since Mr. Cummings. They've always been there. Yesterday in numbers in support of the rally yesterday. So I'd like to publicly thank the party headed by its national chairman.
Was Delon there?
No, Delon wasn't there.
No, Umbrella was there.
No, she wasn't. But of course, the Liberty Party was present yesterday. Is
in their numbers.
Absolutely. Its chairman and acting political leader, Musa Hassan Baledi, has from time to time lended his support to endeavors involving Mr. Cummings and the ANC. And you asked about solidarity from the Unity Party. Timas, it's unfortunate that the Unity Party, upon hearing of our planned rally action, they issue a press statement distancing themselves.
Distancing?
Yes, themselves from the rally. Because the CYPP that
what did it say?
Because the CYPP that applied for the request or applied that informed the government of the planned action comprises members of all 4 political parties' youth. So that's why it's called the concerned youth of the collaborating political parties. So by that, the Unity Party will seem to be involved. So they were quick yesterday to issue a disclaimer
that they're not part of that solidarity march.
Yes. That there are young people in the CPP should not show up. And they also further that everything that happened yesterday, everything that transpired, or that would have transpired because it was issued before before what happened yesterday, that anything that happened, the organizer should take full responsibility. The UP did that. Then upon the disruption of the rally yesterday, they came back now and holding government responsible for what happened. So they don't know where they want to stand. They're one time in favor of peaceful action, another meeting, they're not in favor of it. So you ask for solidarity, it's very evident that we don't have that from the Unity Party, but we're not bothered by that. Ordinary certain things happening in the party. The conspicuous and definite silence of the chairman of the CPP, Mr. Joseph Boakai, is concerning. People would think that we want him to speak for us, to speak on our behalf. We do not. What we want him to do is to speak on the issues that are happening in the CPP, as he should. He's the chairman. Until he relinquishes that position, or he leaves or he clearly tells the people that he can't do the job, he is to speak on everything happening within the CPP, if it affects his party.
The CPP is finished.
That could be a very realistic conclusion to make. But from the ANC, we still believe it's salvageable. As much as that would sound pessimistic. Right?
Very pessimistic.
Absolutely. We still think it's salvageable.
No, it's not.
Thank you.
No.
I do not fundamentally.
It's totally obliterated. It's totally it's finished.
T-Max, I'm not diametrically opposed to what you're saying. Absolutely. There are some truism in what you're saying because situations that have transpired within the CPP in the last few months, several months, if you may, suggest that there is no room for comeback. You have onslaught on the president, Mr. Cummings, by a leading voice in the ALP, with silence from other political leaders. They thought that was doing their bidding. They thought they would benefit from that onslaught. So they did not call the individual to order. I won't dignify him by calling his name. But of course, it's a given that one individual particularly denigrated Mr. Cummings in every way, form, and manner that pleased him. At the behest, if I may, of some other political leaders in the arrangement. You know, and that dealt a serious blow to our standard bearer and the partisans and supporters of the ANC. Now you have a divided Liberty Party with absolutely no leadership, no sign thereof from the chairperson of the collaborating political party who will speak to some of these. It took Charlie Bromskin, the daughter of the late Councillor Charles Bromskin, to speak to the issues in the Liberty Party, urging for reconciliation.
That was suspected of her anyway.
But that was expected more. That was expected more of the chairman of the arrangement to which the Liberty Party is a member, and the elder in the room, the one with the experience, with the wisdom. All of these attributes cannot be ascribed to someone who is not willing to rise to the occasion. So it's one of two things: either lack of leadership or complicity. That is, that person is part of the conspiracy to get another political candidate because it does their bidding, because it in their mind increases their chances.
So let's look at this. You have a disintegrated, totally politically obliterated.
T-Max, a choice of words as strong as they are. I like to have some little hope.
Totally obliterated. And next tomorrow, we're looking at the 2023 general presidential election. You are insequential in this equation.
We are very consequential. As a matter of fact, that's why we're in court. T-Max, the conspiracy is such that the ruling establishment has determined, and factually so, that the real contender for the presidency is Mr. Cummings and not Mr. Barker. That is why they are trying to get Mr. Cummings out of the process.
Who?
The ruling establishment.
How? It was your constituent member that sued Cummings.
But that is
the government didn't go looking for
that
case.
Is the conspiracy.
Benina Ure sued and he said
Benina Ure has nothing.
Forged the document. It's a criminal conspiracy. The government steps in. It was not the government.
Benina Ure has nothing.
Except you telling me he's working for the government.
Absolutely.
Prove that to
That's a conspiracy. Clear conspiracy.
What does it benefit him?
He has business interests. As a matter of fact, right now, Mr. Ure's interests are not leadership interests. They are purely business interests. And he believes this government can protect those interests. So he's willing to sell out, to sell even one of his own out. In this case, Mr. Cummings. Yes. This is a man who has communicated with his National Executive Committee through his chairman, Theodore Momo, to commence the process of withdrawal from the CPP. But while leaving, he wants to make sure he destroys the CPP. The only chance to remove him, Mr. Weah. How is it not so simple to understand that he's doing the bidding of the government? This is where conspiracy and connivance is proven. He clearly works for the government. That is why the government will help work with him. Look, there was a certain text message that reportedly
you're spinning my head.
There are some text messages reportedly from the government lobbyists in the US, which was forwarded to Mr. Patton, the Liberian ambassador to the United States, and that message was forwarded to Mr. McGill. Mr. McGill forwarded that message to Mr. Ure. Yes, the people are working together, T-Max. It's no secret. I was able to unearth that when I resigned from the Council of Patriots. I leaked messages that spoke to that effect. That the corporate was even shocked that I was still in our chat room. So the conspiracy is hushed. It's playing out right in our eyes. So this is not gossip. It's not gossip any longer.
It's factual.
It's factual. So the government determined that the weakest link in the CPP is the ALP. So use the ALP to pick the CPP apart. And so some unsuspecting colleagues in the CPP think that by lowering the chances of Mr. Cummings does their bidding, not knowing they're destroying the general of the CPP.
The power base of the CPP.
Absolutely.
So how you go to elections? Why you want to waste your time?
Well, at this point, when I spoke to the hope for the CPP, I was speaking to the effect that we will do everything possible so that the CPP demise, right? Some will say ultimate demise, as though it's expected. The CPP demise cannot be blamed on the ANC. We will do that. If the CPP, if we're the last person to be in the CPP before it stops being CPP, we will be that last party.
So how does it benefit you going to 2023?
Because
it means that you're going alone by yourself. Or maybe
we will not go alone. I promise you, we will not walk alone. We will not.
You want to be like Liverpool. You never walk alone.
There are people in this country who are following events of the last few weeks.
For example,
there are people
I want parties. There
are people make up parties. There are people, let me tell you something, to restrain Liberian voting population to political party affiliation is unfair. There are people who are entirely disinterested in political leadership or political membership. All right? but they follow candidates. There are people who see that the conspiracy against Mr. Cummings, right, places him as a victim, as he is. Mr. Cummings is a victim of a system that he's trying to shock, and the system is fighting back. And we're not surprised by this. When Mr. Cummings took on this particular role 4 years ago, when he first contested in 2017, after only being around for 18 months in the process, he knew that this wasn't going to be a walk in the park. He knew there was going to be serious resistance to his plans to change his country, to work with other women Liberians to change his country. He knew that. So because of that, he's prepared himself mentally. People get to ask me from time to time, how is Mr. Cummings? Is he draining down? Is he mentally disorganized? Is he talking by himself? All of that. So I keep telling them, you don't get to rise to number 2 position of a Fortune 500 company, a multi-billion-dollar company, without going through challenges. You don't get to do that. You get to face serious challenges. However, the only difference with the one he's facing now in Liberia is that people are attacking his character, something he's built for his entire life, something he is well known for. Something that even took him to that pinnacle of leadership in corporate global leadership. That is why he's being attacked in a country of people who don't even know his worth, or people who are envious, clearly envious of who he's become. So Mr. Cummings knows all of these things. So just why, as bothered as he is not deterred.
So
he's not deterred.
Let's get to the nucleus of the case. What is this rivalry between Urid and Cummings?
I've asked Mr. Cummings.
Do they cross paths?
I've asked Mr. Cummings this question several times.
What did he say?
He said, Mulbah, I can't recollect. I don't know what I did to Mr. Urid. He said, I don't know. He said, I've done nothing to him. He and I have never had a deal that went south. We've never had some money between us that I've cheated him on. Like we've never been in an arrangement that he felt cheated or robbed. You know. But I'll give you an interesting theory. I didn't get this from Mr. Cummings. It's widely, believed in our political circles.
What is it?
That Mr. Urid's issue is that Mr. Cummings is jumping the line. Because the order of leadership should have been Madam Sirleaf, George Weah, Boakai, and then Urid. He got it. And then it was also agreed that after that, Mr. Boakai will be president. And there'll be Mr. Urid. But why is
who hashed that arrangement? Who hashed the schedule?
That is the theory, the political theory, right? On succession. Presidential succession. But then, unfortunately, Mr. Cummings is jumping the line. He's not coming around Parker's position.
It's why you wanted to be.
Yeah, so that's a theory. So that's why Urid is so angry. Mr. Cummings just came 18 months, and then he got over 100,000 votes. Yeah, he got 100,000 votes. I've been here my whole life. I got 20,000 votes. And going to this election with his growing popularity, if this trend continues, I may be entirely irrelevant in this process. So let me get him down to my level. It possible leave my level. Like I said, that is just a theory, right? But to speak to the facts,
does that theory seem logical?
Yeah, because Mr. Cummings can't point to anything that Mr. Urid will want to target him. If possible, jail.
What do you make of this? So I'm borrowing your word, the theory that when Urid started his political life, he was viewed or seen in the Liberian political arena as successful businessman. The Cummings came from
the same business background.
Came from somewhere, and more or less is stealing the show of the successful businessman. So we have, instead of calling Urid the only successful businessman.
So you see, you have added another layer to the conspiracy theory.
Just I'm thinking about
You've added another layer to the theory, But I mean, those can only be the plausible reasons why Mr. Urid would target Mr. Cummings. Otherwise, I've been with Mr. Cummings for a few months, almost a year now. I know the man's sense of humor. I know his demeanor. I know how he will ordinarily address. Look, we're turning room and you were supposed to be tense. Mr. Cummings still remains calm. I don't know how he does it. Sometimes I tell him you have the right to be legitimately angry. I tell him that. So you're a human being. You're not a machine. Even though he was like a machine. But I tell him you have the right to be angry. But you still see him so composed, so organized. So I think that's not one person who harbor such a deep-seated hatred or anger for someone without being expressive. He's very expressive. He will tell you if he doesn't want. I will call right after I leave from here, get some real-time information. By the way, our party is filing a formal complaint with the police. Imagine we're doing the same thing.
Who are you filing the police
yes,
complaint to?
With the Ministry of Justice, unfortunately. Yes, the same people. Unfortunately. The same people who blame for doing it, also going back to them. But we're hoping that we can document these. They may not be adjudicated now, but this all will go on the human rights record of this government. Reports come up from time to time. And these reports are tied to the kind of aid you receive as a country. If the human rights records are not good, your aid packages are reduced.
So let's take our second break. And when we come back, call me on those numbers. 077-107. You'll be live on 50. 50 on Sky 107. My special studio guest, It's Mulbah. Yorbor is the chief of communication at the ANC. We discussing what happened yesterday, the involvement of the CPP, which is an umbrella organization of which the ANC is a part. The next way forward will be after this break.
Hey y'all, what's up back homie LIB man?
T-Brush, that you? Hey, good to hear from you, man. I'm surprised because most of you keep quiet when you go to America.
Come on man, I told you I'll make the difference, girl. By the way, I need to send you some cash, but heard that the banks are closed today in LIB.
You sleeping? That bro come to another level. You can send your script to my phone.
Receive money from your family and friends in the US directly into your Orange Money wallet. Yes, you heard me right. Tell your loved ones to download the BNB or Small World money transfer apps or visit their websites to begin transferring. Visit www.orange.com.lr for more information. Free for sender until 30th November.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
Hey guys, I got good news for you. Who wants y'all to watch everything conversation? Me. Okay. Bobo, you take her money to pay for the things I got from my honey. She over there. Amos, get money to my phone fast. Send for rent about you. Listen.
Great news for all football lovers. Use Orange Money to cash in, cash out, and stand a chance to win cash, devices, or a ticket to the AFCON final. Yes, you heard me right. All this plus many other prizes. Dial *154# to begin transacting. First prize, all expense paid trip to watch the AFCON finals, plus promotional materials. Second prize, luxury 4G smartphone, plus promotional materials. Third prize, $100 cash, plus promotional materials.
Pipa, I'm gonna interested in the device or cash if you win, yeah.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage has also brought in a state-of-the-art 2022 upgraded diagnostic machine that can easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician from Ghana who is up to the task of programming and solving all of your car electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck free of charge if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage head office on 0777 553317 or 0886 553317 or our rehab branch on 00902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian owned, is here to put a smile on your face.
Hey y'all, what's up back homie LIB man?
T-Brush, that you? Hey, good to hear from you, man. I'm surprised because most of you keep quiet when you go to America.
Come on man, I told you I'll make the difference, girl. By the way, I need to send you some cash, but heard that the banks are closed today in LIB.
You sleeping? That bro come to another level. You can send your script to my phone.
Receive money from your family and friends in the US directly into your Orange Money wallet. Yes, you heard me right. Tell your loved ones to download the BNB or Small World money transfer apps or visit their websites to begin transferring. Visit www.orange.com.lr for more information. Free for sender until 30th November.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
Hey guys, I got good news for ya. Who wants y'all to watch African Conversation? Me. Okay. Robo, you take her money to pay for the things I got for my honey. She over there. Amos, send money to my phone fast. Send for red
Great news for all football lovers. Use Orange Money to cash in or cash out and stand a chance to win cash, devices, or a ticket to the AFCON final. Yes, you heard me right. All this plus many other prizes. Dial *154# to begin transacting. First prize, all expense paid trip to watch the AFCON finals, plus promotional materials. Second prize, luxury 4G smartphone, plus promotional materials. Third prize, $100 cash, plus promotional materials.
I'm interested in the device so cash every win, yeah.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
Thank you very much. You're back on 50-50 on Sky 107. Call us down those numbers on 07777-107. iPhone 50-50 on Sky 107. Better still call us on 077-221-223. He'll be live on 50-50. Those two numbers are pinned on our Facebook page, Sky Communications Liberia. Special studio guest is Mulbah. Yorbor is the communication director of the ANC.
Good morning, Timas.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
Well, Timas, Wilmore, Beachy, and I for this town this morning, Timas. Well, Timas, protest is the ingredient of any democracy, Timas, where a group of people feel strongly about something and that is going against that interest in getting right under the law to protest peacefully. And on the other hand, protest should have a limit in the area of no-go-zone. Disagree and the short of the police. But you see, the protesters yesterday were very violent. They were brutal. They were being very unlawful.
Were you there? Were you there?
I'm speaking as a testimony, speaking as a clear evidence. By the way, I was a rush. While driving through yesterday, like we have many other Liberians who are going peacefully by that number of people. People, you cannot have or stage a protest, then you hold law on your feet and violating everything that is placed under the law for protest.
Were they marching in the street, obstructing traffic?
Besides marching, they went as far as barricading the entire legislature and the executive. They carried a musical set, pastors, all kinds of things. You only pass from foreign affair all the way to total going as far as orange, to Dodgy gas. This person was barricaded. There was no go zone for people to the pass. Can you imagine that? So it is something that we just need to discourage Timas and then from on the police, their actions have been taken on the people for this 1 year. Timas for clear testimony of back. I clearly believe that the vote from the ANC is that protest master take responsibility of any of us and the casualty that happened yesterday is eventually chaos the Liberian has going through. People that lie down, so the protest master, not people that done the protest, they take responsibility for everything that went through yesterday.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 07777-107. Let's go back to line 5. Talk to our second caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kimia. Go ahead.
Yeah, I listen to him. He has spoken much. He said that because United Party is distancing herself, that is Mayor Savage. But what is the turning over ceremony that Yomle Kanga was turning over? Why didn't they recognize that it was going to Brother who was leading the CPP? And secondly, that Bernard Yue have been accusing this comment. So I just said that in a vein. But he said that they should make an apologetic message to him so that what he did and after the document and teaching a section of that document is forgery. So let him go to court. All a legal team and just answer a legal team. Joe Parker is not a legal man. I think right now, I think the United Party is trying to withdraw from that. Not the CPP. I think everybody should be on their own. That would be better. So Cummings can talk for himself. Joe Parker will talk for himself. So it's a legal case. I think those people go order to when the judiciary was legal. I think they should go in a peaceful way to listen on the judicial process and on the adjudication. That would be the case for us.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 0777 107. Let's go back to line 5. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning, T Max. How you doing?
I'm all right, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me from?
I'm Yusuf S. Fremont from Congo Tambel.
Go ahead, Yusuf.
Thank you. Mr. Jlateh, I think the police, let me condemn the action on a serious note with our citizens. You can continue to brutalize our citizens. We were in the coalition, the Congress for Democracy in 2011. A lot of protests, peaceful protests will carry on. When Accra said, I will give the country better Liberia. Mama Ellie, I will give a better Liberia. When they talking to Central, we were there. I'm not saying they say I was present. No big protest, peaceful protest that will carry on in this country during our opposition time that I was not there. But for every time we move, the people will control us sometimes on a serious note. But for this government to come in power, when you see people assemble peacefully, my own government I supported, it beats my imagination and I'm confused. I don't even know what to say. Because your time cannot be another person's time. When your time reach, you observe the rule of law. But this government that I supported, they are not observing no rule of law. They just do what they want to do on a serious. And we should go back from the Temple of Justice yesterday to 7th Street. That whole place was no good zone yesterday. Running behind people. You know that when you fire tear gas, it's not only the peaceful protesters. It will affect people who live in the vicinity, people who walking along the road going for that various businesses. It will affect all of them.
You think why were they firing the tear gas? Why were they firing if the guys were not in the streets? If they were now obstructing traffic, why?
Let's say if they block a road, T-Max, you got to wait, you got the headgear to land up. Well, I see outside to land up as the police and ask the people, engage them peacefully, tell me to go in heavy, they will move. They will not remain there. Honestly, instead of you flying tear gas or bullet, they did the thing to our people in Cape Man a few days in Jordan. It was very bad. Why would you keep doing this thing? I think it's very bad. Let me say this before I drop it down to Honorable Kumi. Honorable Kumi, you need to forget about the Musability factor. That's why I gave you a hard time. Because honorability, allegedly and politically, we hear that you're on a mission from setting in. So I think if you follow behind Musa as your friend, if you come from America, you go have your welcome ceremony in your political party headquarters, what will happen then? You go into the Liberty Party and people chunk this stone. You say you want to be president, how you going to run the country? You will not unite people. When people chunk this stone, you're forcing yourself. Why you have to follow behind Musa and go Ganta and go endorse you? You think it's okay when the Liberty Party have problem, the CPP have problem automatically. So you have to solve that problem before moving with Musability. Your Musability that you behind, he is the one that created all of the problems for you. Going to court, this and that. And when you not take time, so come not take time with the issue of Musability, the particular place in the court with him, another lawsuit coming follow why he honor another lawsuit will be pretty soon. Trust me. So you have to
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So Musability has become the reason for lawsuit now. Call me on that number on 0777 107. You'll be live on 5050 on Sky 107. With this happening, what is the implication come 2023? Will the CPP stand as a group or united group? Will they succeed as a splinter group? Give me the divide, faction A and faction B. The way the things look like, it might be Unity Party with ALP and fragments of Liberty Party to the ANC. Winning might be difficult. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, team, man.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where you calling me
My
from?
name is Abba Kemoga. I'm calling you from FPRC.
Abba, go ahead.
Thank you very much. You know, I just want to say something.
Go ahead.
From the time those guys sat and put together the framework document and gave 100% right to everybody, I knew there was a problem. Because you can't put a document together and give right to everybody, even a man who never won a seat 2017. You tell the man, say, yeah, even you go heaven today, You want to be part of certain society heaven. God going to tell you, say, you will not be equal with your Marco or your Gabriel. You will get your own demarcation. So to open it up to Kumis, and at the end of the day, Kumis now being so ambitious for power, begin to disgrace other people, go in the party, taking members from there, go a member of ANC, go to EUP, a member of ANC, go to ALP, a member of ANC, go to Liberty Party, a member of ANC. He doesn't want to go across the bar. He doesn't want to go to CDC. He doesn't want to go to other parties, but when a fellow parties that he's collaborating with, that's doing a photo, I think there was a problem. And my advice to Kumi needs to slow down. We knew that a little money that he got from the Coca-Cola area, Musa Jlateh is milking it to the true FNR on. So, I'm going to advise you, live below people, even when you go in the town, the whole people were advising say, my son, you just come here, sit down here, we will get out here. But if you want to run, let us be 52 please. They will take you down soon in the morning, and I want to be the Kumi. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 0777-777-107. You'll be live on 5050. Let's go back to line 6. Talk to our next caller. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. My brother, what's your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Jlateh.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Tima, yesterday, what happened to people there yesterday? Can you imagine some of us for 7 passengers to get to that place yesterday? I took almost 30 to 35 minutes to get to that place. They put barricaded at home. No way for people to pass. I end up there. I'm not community junction, but where they cannot use our burning. And for me, I would tell the friends of Kumi, I would tell the supporters of Kumi and the happy of Kumi. What they're doing that is slow down. The example to financial 2005. The example to financial 2005. What they're doing here. Quality, our election process and appointing is not about money. It is about the trust of the people and the wisdom of the people. So if you want to be a president, you can be patient-minded person. Presidency is kind of a hurry something. Like what you see, the full behavior of the CDC during the opposition day, like what they this day. So I would tell them what they did, it was wrong, and let them be patient and wait for the time. Election is all about time.
Thank you very much. Call me on that number on 0777-777-107. You'll be live from 5050. Let's go back to line 4. Good morning.
Good morning, T-Max.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
Yeah, this is Joseph Nina. I join you from Jlateh Market, Pastorville.
Go ahead.
You know, T-Max, let me begin by commending the police.
Go ahead. Let's go to overseas. Let's talk to our last caller. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Jlateh.
Good morning, my brother. What's your name and where are you calling me from?
This is Kesselin Ndaba, and I'm calling from Texas.
Go ahead, Keso.
Good morning, Mr. Jabba.
Good morning, Keso.
Thanks for coming to the studio, my brother. But I'm confused when I hear ANC people complaining about the court. First of all, let me say that I'm totally against the action of the police. I am totally against what the police did by tear gassing the people. It is the right of every Liberian. It is a constitutional right to protest. Let's get that clear. But I am confused when I hear ANC complaining about the court case. Because I can remember when this very issue started, it was ANC who have been pushing for court all along. They've cried that if you don't go to court for lying on Cummings will be the one to take them to court. Now not Cummings, or you have to go to court. Why can't we get a court a chance? 1. And 2, ANC is not denying the fact that the document was changed, alteration of what they call it was done to the document. What they are saying is that the changes that were made to the document it's not only affecting ANC alone, one, and two, they give it names, calling it, or they don't call it alteration, they call it cosmetic change, and all kind of a name they give it. So why can't we give the benefit of the doubt so that we can have the court hearing, and let's go through the hearing? Don't you think that would be a good idea? And three, the public have asked for, justice to be done so that all of us can be satisfied with the hearing, to have the case videotape. Why did the ANC refuse? Don't you think that would have been another, good opportunity for us to know as to whether the government is actually treating Cummings in a different way and so forth and so on? Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. That's our last caller. Before we take our last break, you want to comment on those
Yes.
make comments on this call?
So the last caller attempted to go through the merits of the case. I won't do that. It's still before the court. But he spoke to one thing that I'd like to respond to. He said the case is before court. Why can't you let the court process go ahead? T-Max, when George Floyd was killed in the U.S., there were protests across the country. The case was in court. But there were solidarity rallies across the country. When Inja Topa was killed in Liberia here, there were protests. It was in court. There were still protests around. Look, there is a legal case, and then there is a mass citizens action, civil actions by citizens to show solidarity, to call more attention to the case. That is exactly what was happening yesterday. Now, when people are gathered en masse, movements are affected. That is, police is informed so they can find alternative routes. When we were gathered yesterday, it was not a major route. It wasn't. They could divert traffic from the foreign ministry side, going towards the UL and going down straight Capitol Bypass and through down to Broad Street. They could do that, especially if they determined that the number of persons gathering in the corridor between the Temple of Justice and the Capitol building and the Marshall area, the Marshall corridor is not in use, by the way. They would divert traffic. But the police had to prove that they could do something and go with impunity. That's why they did that. So those of you who saying, "Oh, the case is in court, let the case go ahead," of course. As a matter of fact, the hearing has just started. I've just been informed that the judge is there. The Solicitor General was 1 hour late. The judge was in court on time. Our lawyers were in court. Mr. Cummings was in court. Is in court. Serena Sifas came 1 hour later.
1 hour later?
Yeah, he came late. Yeah, he came late to the court. And I should inform the Liberian people that these charges brought against Mr. Cummings and Dana Nathan and Alasha Store is a second-degree misdemeanor trial in a magisterial court. The first person who should have even dealt with that case is a solicitor. But you have the Solicitor General. He's like a deputy chief lawyer of the country after the Justice Minister, right? But he's now on.
He is the law.
He is the lawyer.
He is the law.
Yeah, he's now the lawyer in a city court, charging a misdemeanor offense, trying a misdemeanor offense. So it tells you how unserious these people are. Mr. Cephas is at the middle of a money laundering case. There are several cases on the docket, grave cases. It doesn't bother him, but he's bothered about forgery and criminal conspiracy, misdemeanor, in a magisterial court, tried by a disciplinary magistrate, Joman Jara. That is the most important thing for Serena Cephas right now. So when you and I was speaking on the issue of conspiracy, I had to bring this in to tell you how they're doing everything to take Mr. Cummings out. And I understand the sentiment from some of the callers, right? I won't say public, because some of them may be people who are just planted to speak to this issue. So I'm not going to use their measurement as a measure of public sentiment. But what I can tell them, even with their views, the belief that they have right now, is that because you think Mr. Cummings is doing certain things that don't conform to your political terrain, doesn't mean it's wrong. You just don't believe in what he's doing. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Mr. Cummings is getting more and more popular. Mr. Cummings came here 18 months to the election in 2017. He got over 100,000 votes. See, if it was a have election today, Mr. Cummings will get more than 200,000 votes. Easy. Up to 2023, we're getting 300,000. No election in this country that Mr. Cummings will not go second round. Forget it. There's no election. The Liberian people clearly have given up on Mr. Weah, and they know very well that Mr. Cummings' message is consistent. He's always advocated for real change that benefits the generality of the people. He's never backed down on his message of real change. So that alone continues to resonate with the people.
Okay, so let's take our last break, and when we come back, we'll go straight to Studio 8 to Princess to give us comments from our social media users.
Hey y'all, what's up back homie LIB man?
T-Brush, that you? Hey, put on your for you, man. I'm surprised because most of you keep quiet for when you go to America.
Come on man, I told you I'll make the difference, girl. By the way, I need to send you some cash, but heard that the banks are closed today in LIB.
You sleepy? La bro, come to another level. You can send your script to my phone.
Receive money from your family and friends in the US directly into your Orange Money wallet. Yes, you heard me right. Tell your loved ones to download the BNB or Small World money transfer apps or visit their websites to begin transferring. Visit www.orange.com.lr for more information. Free for sender until 30th November.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
To watch everything conversation.
Me.
Bobo, you take her money to pay for the things I got from my honey. She over there. Amos, send money to my phone fast. Send for rent about you. Yes, please.
Great news for all football lovers. Use Orange Money to cash in, cash out, and stand a chance to win cash, devices, or a ticket to the AFCON final. Yes, you heard me right. All this plus many other prizes. Dial *154# to begin transacting. First prize, all expense paid trip to watch the AFCON finals, plus promotional materials. Second prize, luxury 4G smartphone, plus promotional materials. Third prize, $100 cash, plus promotional materials.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Orange.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has brought in all sizes of new quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage has also brought in a state-of-the-art 2022 upgraded diagnostic machine that can easily detect any problem with your car. Don't worry, we can fix it for you. Is your car having any electrical problem? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician from Ghana who is up to the task of programming and solving all of your car electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street side. We have our garage and new showroom at Rehab at the junction of President Weah's residence. For original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We give 1 month warranty. We also provide a tow truck free of charge if we are the ones to work on your car. But we can also tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage head office on 0777 or 0886 17 or our rehab branch on 0770-902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian owned, is here to put a smile on your face.
Hey y'all, what's up back homie LIB man?
T-Brush, that you? Hey, put on your for you, man. I'm surprised because most of you keep quiet for when you go to America.
Come on man, I told you I'll make the difference, girl. By the way, I need to send you some cash, but heard that the banks are closed today in LIB.
You sleepy? La bro, come to another level. You can send your script to my phone.
Receive money from your family and friends in the US directly into your Orange Money wallet. Yes, you heard me right. Tell your loved ones to download the BNB or Small World money transfer apps or visit their websites to begin transferring. Visit www.orange.com.lr for more information. Free for sender until 30th November.
Brings you closer to what matters.
Thank you very much. Back on 50/50 on Sky Mother 7. It's time to go straight to Studio 8 to Princess to give us comments from our social media. Let me advise you that the comments you're about to hear are not coming from Sky Communication, but rather comments from our social media users. It's over to you, Princess, in Studio A.
All right, so let me begin with Ruth Roberts Spengba, who writes, regime collaborators calling themselves opposition. If you think the attacks on ordinary citizens who came out to support Cummins is a Cummins thing, you will realize the mission is against you as opposition in general at Atlantic period. Continue with the games and see who benefits when the house rises against itself. Emmett A.S. Tapper writes, power is in the hands of native man and native people are being treated like this. Is this what great politicians like Bacchus Matthew and others were crying for? Or the peace ambassador has turned violent ambassador? Charles Taylor is back in WEA. I think it's the virus of the NPP in the CDC. Will Liberia get better under native men like Clark? Ruth Roberts member writes on to comments, but the Liberian people they call stupid are becoming wiser now. She continues, it's a fear tactics they are playing, but I hope our people continue to be resilient in these fights. Amos Kona Bana writes, CPP keep quiet because they are corrupt and Mr. Cleanhand fight his fight. Monty Wama Brown writes, good morning, Team X. Since the June 7 protest, the LNP has designed or tougher mechanism to crack down on any protest from the opposition bloc. When it comes to protests, the police can be so vigilant and aggressive. Unfortunately, when it comes to crimes, what we usually hear is that they are investigating. It is so unfortunate. And he continues, Mr. Cummins believes in the rule of laws. So why did the ANC circumvent a youth group to go at the court? I'm totally against police brutality, but let the rule of laws prevail. Reverend Jaws D. Quoto Senior writes, good morning, Team X. Thanks for the show and the many contributions to the rebuilding and growth of our dear Mama Liberia. Why it is unfair to deny the rights of peaceful citizens to assemble, it is also good to allow the court proceeding involving Mr. Cummins to be handled legally, void of political pressure and intimidations. Thanks and God bless. Day, monitoring from my home in Broville. Kelawu Flomo writes, why the ANC partisans want to jumpstart this lawsuit? I don't see any reason why they went out to demonstrate yesterday when there was no court proceeding, and besides, the government is not in court with Mr. Cummins. Mr. Ure sued Mr. Cummins, and why is the government being accused? It makes no sense. Doris Cooper writes, Liberians, please carry the peaceful protest at the ballot boxes, where your rights ends, another man's rights begins. Ellison Ross writes, good morning to the 50 family. Hello to your guests. The LNP has become one of the most brutal forces on the continent in dealing with protesters. There were better ways of handling crowds other than firing tear gas. As for Mulbah, Yorbor, keep economizing the truth and throwing jabs. Your truth will finish anytime from now and you will lose credibility completely. Bootlicking won't help you, Yorbor. Continue to live on politicians and be gallivanting from political party to political party. It is final one from DJ during these modern times. If our police revert to tear gas every time, it means there is something intriguingly wrong with how the police is trained and managed. This is alarming and needs public attention. And that's all for now, T-Max.
Thank you very much, Princess, for the comment from our social media users. Let me read for you the editorial for today with the caption, we must act upon the TRC recommendation now or else. Early Tuesday, on January 18, one of the former warlords whose faction is hands of death in Monrovia, Alhaji G.V. Nkrumah of the defunct United Liberation Movement of Democracy in Liberia, Ulimbo K faction, accused of committing heinous crimes during the Liberian Civil War, died at dawn. He died at his residence in Rototown within the vicinity of the James Prince Free Airport in Sincon in Monrovia following a period of illness. Nkrumah and his Ulimbo K faction are among 100 notorious former combatants, institutional organizations, and other individuals to have borne the greatest responsibilities of the atrocities committed during the 15 years civil war that caused over 250,000 lives to lost and to properties worth millions and millions of United States dollars damaged. He is the fourth former rebel leader during the time civil war to have died standing trial of Liberia, as well as his family and religious group, and pray that Allah forgives him eternally. Howbeit, the first to die was Roseph Johnson of Ulimo J, followed by Francois Massaquoi of Lofa Defense Force, Thomas Womoyu of the National Patriotic Front of Liberia Central Revolutionary Council. There are still more rebel leaders listed in the TRC final report who are still alive, who could face prosecution for crimes they have been accused of. Among those who are still alive are Thomas Yaya Nimlin of the Movement for Democracy in Liberia Model, and Prince Wyatt Johnson of the Independent National Patriotic Front of Liberia, Charles Taylor of the National Patriotic Front of Liberia, Sekou Damante Cornell of the Liberian Liberation for comes to death and birth, as well as whether he does through divine death of these former rebel leaders accused of committing atrocities from the political scene without standing trial, in wake-up call to quickly implement the TRC final report. We're calling on George Weah's regime, which has the political will, but has been dragging its feet to implement the TRC report, to have the change of mind now, or else victims of the conflict must forget about it at all. Let us use this as a quick call to this government, who is meant to have a clean hand amidst all the atrocities that occurred in the country, to act now or plead with the victims as well as the bitter relatives to forget it. Surely, if all of those who led the civil crisis are dead, those who were used or aided in the war should not be held accountable, and that will force Liberians to accept restorative justice over retributive justice. That's the end of our choice of the editorial with the caption, "We must act upon the TRC now or else." Now, that's how we come to the end of this edition. Thank you, Mulbah. How we will let you close?
Well, I'd like to close by saying that the ANC and its collaborators and supporters strongly condemn the action of the police yesterday by firing tear gas canisters in the midst of protesters. We thought that was wrong. Like one of your commenters said, there are many ways to deal with protesters, many conventional ways, but that the Liberian National Police only way of dealing with protesters, whether peaceful or violent, is to fire tear gas canisters. That speaks more to their training than it does to the protesters. Because that's the only way they know how to acquire a protest, by shooting tear gas canisters. All right. So we are at the court. From here, I'm going to go to the court right now, and I'm going to follow up the case. We know that we're going to win the case, not because we have the best set of lawyers, but because we believe the case has no merits. We believe the charges are trumped up. They're frivolous grounds. So we'll win the case, and we are happy that the Liberian people are now paying attention to our campaign. More and more people are now calling the name Commies. It's a good thing.
It's good, and thank you very much for responding to our call. We're sorry that we could not have the Secretary General of the Liberty Party, Martin Kakula. On that, we come to the end of this edition of 50/50. My name is Tima. Thanks for being there. Tomorrow, let's do it again to give Liberia a good face. Bye-bye for now.